Woman dancing Stoic thinking in love. The woman who controls the game. Small blue diamond introduction. Why women need Stoic thinking in dating. Welcome to a highly important and practical topic in love and dating. Stoic thinking for women. Dating in this day and age is no longer like it used to be. Social media, dating apps, and the changes in how men and women interact have created a whole new ballgame. And in this game, the person in control is the one who understands their own value. So how can you get men to pursue you instead of chasing after them? How can you maintain long-term attraction instead of becoming an easy option that's discarded? The answer is Stoic thinking. This is not a cold or unfeeling way of thinking. It doesn't mean you have to be indifferent, distant, or not care about anyone. Stoic thinking in love is knowing how to control your emotions, not letting others affect your value, and always putting yourself first. When you adopt Stoic thinking, you will become an irresistible woman. You will no longer worry about whether he'll text you back. You will no longer wonder why he's being indifferent. You will no longer be afraid of losing a man, because you understand that. Backhand index pointing right, you are valuable. Backhand index pointing right, you are the prize, not someone begging for affection. Backhand index pointing right, you are the one choosing, not the one being chosen. In the next section, we'll delve into the common mistakes women often make when dating and why they diminish their appeal in men's eyes. Broken heart common dating mistakes. Trying to please men and losing yourself. One of the biggest mistakes women often make when dating is trying too hard to please men. They think that if they are good enough, gentle enough, caring enough, the man will cherish and love them forever. But what's the reality? Many women, the harder they try to please, the more they are taken for granted. It's not that sacrifice is wrong, but when you forget your own value, you also lose your attractiveness. Small blue diamond, why does trying to please men backfire? Imagine you meet a man you really like. You do everything to make him happy. You change your interest to match his. You are always available whenever he needs you. You agree with every plan, even setting aside your own needs just to please him. Initially, he might like that. But what will happen then? He starts to see you as a given. He no longer puts in the effort to win you over. He might even take your attention for granted without appreciation. And at some point he feels you are no longer as attractive as you once were. Why? Because men are not attracted to what is too easily obtained. They cherish what they have to strive to achieve. They want to feel that they have won a valuable woman. If you don't give them that opportunity, you inadvertently make yourself an easy option and easily replaceable. Small blue diamond, a woman loses value when she forgets herself. Have you ever seen a woman who used to be full of appeal, but after entering a relationship, she gradually becomes bland? She no longer pursues her passions. She no longer spends time with friends, hobbies, or her own life. Everything she does revolves around that man. Initially, he may find this endearing, but over time he will feel suffocated and lose interest. Because an attractive woman is not someone who only knows how to live for men. She has her own life. She has her own standards. She is not easily swayed by emotions or the changes in men. And that is what makes her captivating. Small blue diamond, don't let men become the center of your life. What's the most important thing in dating? You must be the center of your own life. A relationship cannot be the only thing that makes you happy. A man cannot be your biggest goal. If you lose yourself for someone, you are also losing your natural attractiveness. Remember that. Backhand index pointing right, a man should be a part of your life, not your entire life. Backhand index pointing right, you have the right to love, but you must not lose yourself in love. Backhand index pointing right, if a relationship forces you to give up your values, interests, and joys, then it's not a healthy relationship. Always ask yourself, am I living in accordance with my values? Am I happy even without him? If the answer is no, then perhaps you've gone in the wrong direction. Small blue diamond lessons learned. Keycap 1, don't change yourself just to please men. If he loves you, he will love you for who you truly are. If he only likes a version you try to create to please him, then that's not true love. Keycap 2, don't sacrifice too much in a relationship. Giving is good, but if you only give without receiving appreciation in return, you will soon feel tired and exhausted. Keycap 3, don't let men define your value. Your value does not depend on whether a man likes you or not. You have your own value even when no one is around. Keycap 4, be yourself. A confident, independent woman with her own life is always more attractive than someone who only knows how to chase after men. Fire conclusion. This is the first step to becoming a Stoic woman. Trying to please men doesn't make you a desirable woman. It only makes you easily replaceable. The truly attractive woman is the one who knows her value and never loses it for someone else. Remember, small blue diamond, you are the one choosing, not the one being chosen. Small blue diamond, you have value even without a man by your side. Small blue diamond, you don't need to chase after anyone. Because you are the prize, not someone begging for affection. In the next section, we'll delve into an important principle in Stoic thinking. Backhand index pointing right, how to control your emotions and not let men control your mood. Fire controlling emotions. Don't let men control your mood. Emotions are what can create attraction, but can also destroy a relationship if you don't control them. A woman with Stoic thinking doesn't let her emotions be controlled by a man's actions. She doesn't let a text message or an indifferent gesture of his affect her whole day. She doesn't let a man's attention or distance determine her self-worth. She controls her emotions, holds her ground, and always puts herself first. Small blue diamond women's mistake. Letting men control emotions. Let's think about this situation. You text a guy you like. He hasn't replied immediately. You begin to feel anxious. You check your phone constantly. You wonder, did I do something wrong? Why hasn't he texted back? After a few hours, he texts back a brief message. You feel happy again. But then, if he suddenly becomes cold, you fall back into anxiety. Your emotions rise and fall completely dependent on his actions. You become passive in the relationship. And this is the dangerous trap that causes many women to lose their appeal. Men can sense when a woman is too dependent on their emotions. And when they realize that, they will no longer cherish you. Small blue diamond, how does a Stoic woman control her emotions? The difference between a woman who is ruled by emotions and a woman who controls them is very clear. The weak woman always waits for texts from him. Happy when he cares, sad when he's indifferent. Creates a series of assumptions in her head about why he's not replying. Tries to find ways to please him to get his attention back. The Stoic woman doesn't let her emotions be controlled by men's actions. Doesn't spend the whole day waiting for messages, but focuses on her own life. Doesn't panic when he's distant, but continues to live happily as usual. Doesn't try to control or manipulate men, but lets him feel lucky to have you. Remember that. Backhand index pointing right, you are the center of your life, not men. Backhand index pointing right, you have the right to control your emotions. Don't give that power to anyone else. Backhand index pointing right, when you stop letting men decide your mood, you'll become more attractive than ever. Small blue diamond real-life example. Cleopatra, a master of emotional control. One of the most compelling women in history was Cleopatra. She could make the most powerful men in the world chase her, not because of her beauty, but because of her confidence and how she controlled the situation. Cleopatra was never hasty or rushed. She didn't let her emotions be controlled by men's actions. When Julius Caesar or Mark Antony expressed interest, she didn't rush into their arms. She made them prove that they were worthy of her. And it was emotional control and a calm demeanor that made her more attractive than any other woman. You can do the same.
Let men wonder.
Backhand index pointing right, what is she thinking? Backhand index pointing right. Why isn't she reacting like the others? Backhand index pointing right, am I important enough to her? This curiosity is the key to making men fascinated. Small blue diamond, how to control emotions in dating? Keycap 1, stop waiting for texts from men. If he texts, great. If not, you're still okay. Don't check your phone constantly. Don't put pressure on yourself. Continue living your life. Keycap 2, don't overreact to his attention or indifference. If he seems cold, you stay calm as if nothing happened. If he cares more, you keep a calm attitude, not too excited. Keycap 3, uphold personal principles. If he cancels a date last minute, you don't rush to accept his apology. If he doesn't respect your time, you don't reluctantly change your plans to suit him. Keycap 4, always put your life first. Be busy with your work, hobbies, and passions. When you have an exciting life, you'll never feel the need to cling to men to feel happy. Fire conclusion. When you control emotions, you control the game. If you want men to pursue you, you must control your emotions first. Men are not attracted to women who are too predictable and dependent on them. They are attracted to women who are calm, confident, and not easily affected. Remember, small blue diamond, you are in control of your emotions. Don't give that power to men. Small blue diamond, you have value even when no one cares about you. Small blue diamond, you don't need to chase after anyone. Because you are the prize, not someone begging for affection. When you apply these principles, you will no longer be afraid of losing anyone. And at that point, men will be afraid of losing you. In the next section, we'll delve into another important principle in Stoic thinking. Backhand index pointing right. Don't put men on a pedestal. You are the one with value. Fire. Don't put men on a pedestal. You are the one with value. One of the most common mistakes women make in love is worshiping men too much. They see a man as the center of the world, as the most important goal in their life. And in doing so, they inadvertently lose their own value. If you want men to respect and desire you, you can't see them as the most important thing in your life. Remember, backhand index pointing right. You are the one with value. Backhand index pointing right. You don't need to prove yourself to men. Backhand index pointing right. A worthy man is one who has to prove that he is right for you. When you put men on a pedestal, you are telling him that you are lower than him. You are sending a message that you need him more than he needs you. And once a man feels he is the center, he will no longer cherish you. Small blue diamond. Why do women tend to put men on a pedestal? Women often grow up believing that finding a good man is the key to happiness. Movies, books, fairy tales all teach women that love is the most important thing in their lives. That if they find an ideal man, they will have a happy life. But what's the reality? Happiness doesn't come from having a man by your side. Happiness comes from knowing your value and not depending on anyone else to feel complete. Many women in love tend to see the man as the most important goal. Be willing to change themselves to please him. Ignore their standards just to maintain the relationship. Accept unworthy things just for fear of losing him. And what's the result? He loses respect for you. He no longer feels you are a woman of high value. He starts to take your attention and love for granted. And once men no longer feel they have to try to get you, you are no longer attractive in their eyes. Small blue diamond. Men are attracted to women who know their worth. Think about the women who always have men pursuing them. What is special about them? Are they more beautiful than everyone else? Not necessarily. Are they always gentle and pampering men? Also no. What makes them truly attractive is that they know their worth. They don't see men as the center of the world. They have their own lives, their own passions, their own standards. And that's what makes men have to try to get them. A woman of value doesn't need to sacrifice herself just to keep a man. On the contrary, it is the men who have to prove that they are worthy of her. Remember, backhand index pointing right. Men aren't the reward. You are the reward. Backhand index pointing right. You don't need a man to complete your life. Backhand index pointing right. You don't need anyone to confirm your value. Because you already have value. Small blue diamond. Real life example. A girl who always has men pursuing her. Imagine two women. Small blue diamond. The first always texts first, actively makes plans to meet. Always tries to do everything to make him happy. Willing to change herself just to fit his interests. Always worried about whether he likes her. Small blue diamond. The second doesn't text constantly but doesn't play the silent game either. Only meets him when she really wants to, not for fear of losing him. Has her own hobbies, her own life, and doesn't change just to please someone. Doesn't worry about whether he likes her or not. Because she knows her value. Who do you think will make men desire more? The answer is too clear. A woman with standards, her own life, and doesn't put men on a pedestal is always many times more attractive than a woman who is too dependent on men. Small blue diamond. How do you stop putting men on a pedestal? Keycap 1. Don't change yourself just to please a man. Be yourself, and if he doesn't like it, that's his problem, not yours. Keycap 2. Don't accept what's not worth it. If he doesn't treat you like a woman of value, be ready to walk away. Keycap 3. Don't see men as the most important goal. Men should be a part of your life, not your entire life. Focus on your career, passion, and personal development first. Keycap 4. Let men prove that they are worthy of you. Don't easily give away affection if he hasn't proved anything. A worthy man will always try to win you over. Don't make it too easy. Fire conclusion. To make men chase you, know your worth. If you want a lasting and passionate relationship, you have to stop putting men on a pedestal. Men aren't your biggest goal. You don't need a man to feel valuable. You already have value, and the right man will see that. Remember, small blue diamond, you are the one choosing, not the one being chosen. Small blue diamond, you are the prize, not someone begging for affection. Small blue diamond, a worthy man will pursue you. You don't need to pursue him. When you know your worth, you will attract the right person, and you will no longer have to worry about whether you are good enough or not. In the next section, we'll talk about an extremely important strategy. Backhand index pointing right. Talk less. Observe more. Mystery is a woman's power. Fire. Talk less. Observe more. Mystery is a woman's power. Have you ever wondered why some women don't need to say too much but still fascinate men? They don't try to impress. They don't constantly talk about themselves or try to prove they're interesting. They're simply mysterious, subtle, and have an irresistible charm. And that's what makes men have to find out, have to pursue, have to conquer. Because mystery is one of the most powerful weapons of women. If you want to increase your attractiveness many times over, learn to talk less and observe more. Small blue diamond, why does talking too much reduce attractiveness? Many women, when they meet an attractive man, tend to talk too much. They think the more they share, the more they prove they are interesting. They try to tell about their lives, hobbies, achievements, and everything about themselves in the first meeting. But they don't realize that. Backhand index pointing right. What is easily available is not cherished. Backhand index pointing right. If you reveal everything from the beginning, you'll have nothing left for men to discover. Backhand index pointing right. When there is nothing left to discover, men will lose their curiosity and lose interest. Imagine you're reading a book. Right from the first chapter, the book has revealed all the content. Are you still interested in continuing to read? Definitely not. Likewise, when you talk too much and don't keep a little mystery, you make men feel they don't need to try to understand you anymore. And when men don't need to try, they'll lose their interest and desire to conquer. Small blue diamond, the secret of mysterious women. Talk less, observe more. Look at the women with the strongest appeal. They don't talk too much. They don't try to impress. They let men be curious and actively find out about them. They know that. Backhand index pointing right. Silence can create greater power than words. Backhand index pointing right. Men like what they have to conquer, not what is offered ready-made. Backhand index pointing right. A woman who can make men ask questions will always keep them fascinated. Small blue diamond, real-life example. Marilyn Monroe, an icon of mystery. Marilyn Monroe was not only a beauty icon, she was also a master in the art of retaining mystery to attract men. She never said everything about herself. She knew how to use her eyes, smile, and body language to make men curious. Once Marilyn said, "A woman doesn't need to say too much to make men fascinated." And that is the strategy of smart women. They don't reveal everything right away, but let men gradually discover them. They leave gaps, things unsaid, making men have to search, ask questions, and pursue them. You can apply this strategy even in everyday conversations. Small blue diamond, how to become a mysterious woman. Keycap 1. Don't share everything right away. If he asks about your life, answer but don't say too much. Let him continue to be curious and want to learn more. Keycap 2. Use eyes and body language to create attraction. Sometimes a look can say more than a long sentence. A slight smile, a tilt of the head, a glance will make men strongly attracted. Keycap 3. Don't answer all of his questions right away. If he asks, "Do you have a boyfriend?" Instead of answering immediately, smile slightly and say, "What do you think?" If he asks, "What do you like in a man?" Don't list it right away. Let him guess and learn gradually. Keycap 4. Observe more. Men will reveal many things about themselves through how they act. Backhand index pointing right. A charming woman doesn't try to please anyone. She just enjoys her own life. Backhand index pointing right. Humor is valuable when it comes from confidence, not from a desire to be accepted. Backhand index pointing right. When you're comfortable with yourself, you'll naturally become interesting. Small blue diamond, why do some women lose their appeal by trying too hard? A big mistake many women make is trying too hard to impress men with humor. They think if they're funnier, more cheerful, more active, men will like them more. So they laugh loudly and excessively to attract attention. Tell too many jokes to impress. Try to do everything to become the funniest girl in the room. But what will happen? Instead of making men attracted, they make men feel she is trying too hard. And when men feel you're making too much effort to make them like you, you'll lose your mystery, your naturalness, and your appeal. Small blue diamond. How do charming women use humor? The most attractive women never try to impress with humor. They are simply comfortable with themselves. They don't laugh loudly artificially. They smile gently, subtly. They don't try to tell jokes. They use wit and subtlety in their words to make men feel interesting. They know when to speak, when to listen, and when to use humor gracefully. Small blue diamond. Real-life example. French women and the art of charming with humor. French women are famous for their natural, mysterious, and subtle charm. They don't try to make men laugh. But men are still fascinated by them. They don't talk too much. But every word they say has weight. A gentle but sharp statement, a mischievous look, a knowing smile, all of that makes men unable to take their eyes off. They know how to play with words, using humor naturally to make the conversation interesting. And that's what makes them irresistible. You can do the same. Small blue diamond. How to be funny gracefully? Keycap 1. Don't try to make men laugh. Let it happen naturally. If you see something funny, laugh gently, but don't try to make everyone laugh. Let the conversation happen naturally without forcing it. Keycap 2. Use wit and intelligence instead of stereotypical jokes. A statement full of implication. A gentle tease will be more attractive than a gaudy joke. Let your humor come from subtlety, not from forcing it. Keycap 3. Use eyes, smile to create attraction. Sometimes a mischievous look can be more interesting than a joke. A gentle smile will make you look much more attractive than a loud laugh. Keycap 4. Don't seek acceptance from men. You don't have to be funny to make someone like you. When you're confident with yourself, your humor will be more natural and attractive. Fire conclusion. Be funny subtly, don't try too hard. Humor is one of the best ways to create attraction. But the most attractive humor is natural, unforced humor. Remember, small blue diamond, you don't have to do tricks to make men like you. Small blue diamond. The most charming humor comes from confidence and subtlety. Small blue diamond. When you're comfortable with yourself, you'll naturally become attractive. A woman who is natural, subtle, and doesn't try to please anyone is always the most attractive woman. In the next section, we'll talk about an extremely important principle. Backhand index pointing right. Always be ready to walk away. Don't cling to a man. Fire. Always be ready to walk away. Don't cling to a man. One of the common characteristics of strong, charming women is that they are not afraid of losing a man. They don't cling. They are not afraid. They know that if a relationship is no longer suitable, they can walk away without regret. And it is this mindset that makes them extremely attractive. Remember, backhand index pointing right. An attractive woman isn't someone who knows how to keep a man, but someone who is not afraid of losing a man. Backhand index pointing right. If he doesn't cherish you, be ready to walk away. Backhand index pointing right. The worthy man will never let you leave, and the unworthy man you don't need to keep. Small blue diamond. Why do women who cling to men lose their appeal? Many women think that if they try harder, are more patient, love more, then the man will cherish them. So even if he doesn't treat them well, they still stay. He seems indifferent, they keep trying. He no longer makes an effort, they still hope that their feelings will change everything. But this is the most dangerous trap in love. The more you cling, the more he takes you for granted. The more patient you are with disrespect, the less he cherishes you. The more afraid you are of losing him, the less afraid he is of losing you. And at some point, you realize that you have lost yourself in this relationship. Small blue diamond. Strong women know when to walk away. A stoic woman never stays in a relationship that is no longer worthy of her. She has standards. She has principles. She knows that a man who doesn't cherish her is not a man worth keeping. Imagine there are two women in the same situation. Small blue diamond. The first. When she sees him distant, she worries, tries to hold on. She accepts disrespect just for fear of losing him. She tries to change herself to maintain the relationship. Small blue diamond. The second. When she sees him distant, she doesn't panic. She just observes. If he no longer cherishes her, she is ready to leave without regret. She knows that she deserves a better relationship. Who do you think is more attractive? The second is not afraid of losing anyone, and that's what makes her extremely attractive. Small blue diamond. Real-life example. A woman who leaves as soon as she sees signs of disrespect. Imagine you're in a relationship. First, everything is fine. But then, you start noticing signs of disrespect from the other person. He no longer prioritizes you as before. He cancels dates at the last minute for no good reason. He starts to belittle your opinion. A woman lacking confidence will think that she needs to try harder to make him change. But a woman with value will think, backhand index pointing right, I deserve respect. If he doesn't cherish me, I'm ready to walk away. And when she actually walks away without hesitation, what will happen? The man realizes that she is not like other women. He starts to fear losing her, feels that he needs to make more effort if he wants to keep her. What if he doesn't care? Good. She has freed herself from an unworthy relationship and opened up the opportunity to meet someone better. Small blue diamond, how to become a woman always ready to walk away? Keycap 1. Don't put men at the center of your life. Don't let your happiness depend on a man. Have your own life, your own passion, your own goals. Keycap 2. Always keep your standards. Never accept disrespect just because you're afraid of losing someone. If a man doesn't treat you properly, leave immediately. Keycap 3. Don't be afraid of losing anyone. If someone really loves you, he will never let you leave. If he is willing to lose you, you should not keep him. Keycap 4. Be the one making decisions, not the one waiting. If a relationship doesn't make you happy, don't wait for the other person to change. Walk away yourself. You deserve a better relationship, and you don't need to beg anyone for it. Fire conclusion. When you are ready to walk away, men will cherish you more. Men don't cherish women who too easily accept everything. They cherish women who have value, have standards, and are not afraid of losing anyone. Remember, small blue diamond, you don't have to keep someone if they don't cherish you. Small blue diamond, if a man is no longer making an effort, you should walk away immediately. Small blue diamond, the right man will never let you leave. And the wrong man you don't need to keep. When you are really ready to walk away, you will never lose what belongs to you. In the next section, we'll talk about an extremely important principle. Backhand index pointing right. Stay focused. Don't let anyone distract you. Fire. Stay focused. Don't let anyone distract you. A strong woman never lets love overshadow her goals, passions, and values. She doesn't lose herself just for a man. She doesn't forget her dreams just to suit someone else. She understands that her life doesn't revolve around men. But men are just a part of it. Remember, backhand index pointing right. The woman of value is the one who always focuses on her goals and personal development. Backhand index pointing right. Men are attracted to women who have their own passions, who don't live only for love. Backhand index pointing right. When you focus on yourself, you don't need to chase after men. They will come to you. Small blue diamond, why do many women lose themselves in love? Many women in love tend to put all their attention on the relationship. They forget what used to make them happy. They neglect their work, hobbies, friends just to spend time with their man. Initially, this may make the man feel loved. But over time, he will start to lose interest.